Speech off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to do my Goodreads update for the first half of October. I actually don't have as many books as I normally seem to add to my TBR. So let's just get started. First one is Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. I heard about this one through a lot of people, but what made me decide to pick it up was, or I guess to add it to my list because I don't actually own it yet. Sarah from Sarah's Bookshelves Live interviewed the author and it made me interested in the book. So here's the description. Sally Diamond cannot understand why what she did was so strange. She was only doing what her father told her to do, to put him out with the rubbish when he died. Now Sally is the center of attention, not only from hungry media and worried police, but also a sinister voice from a past she has no memory of. As she begins to discover the horrors of her childhood, recluse Sally steps into the world for the first time, making new friends, finding independence, and learning that people don't always mean what they say. But when messages start arriving from a stranger who knows far more about her past than she knows herself, Sally's life will be thrown into chaos once again. So it sounds like she is kind of like on the spectrum and everything is so literal, and she has to learn to kind of live in a world where, not everything is so literal, and that can get her into some trouble. So it sounds like a bit of crime fiction with some humor. I mean, because we don't know what happened to her in her past. So, yeah. Anyway, sounds interesting. Next is Witch of Wild Things by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland? I'm not sure. I got this one through the Currently Reading Podcast Indie Press List for October. Every month they have an indie press list. Basically, they partner up with an independent bookstore, and the bookstore picks books for us to buy from them. So this is one of them. Legend goes, long ago, a Flores woman offended the old gods, and their family was cursed as a result. Now every woman born to the family has a touch of magic. Sage Flores has been running from her family and their gifts ever since her younger sister Sky died. 8 years later, Sage reluctantly returns to her hometown. Like slipping into an old, comforting sweater, Sage takes back her job at Cranberry Rose Company and uses her ability to communicate with plants to discover unusual heritage specimens in the surrounding lands. What should be a simple task is complicated by her partner in botany sleuthing, Tennessee Reyes. He broke her heart in high school, and she never fully recovered. Working together is reminding her of all their past tender, genuine moments, and new feelings for this mature, sexy man are starting to take root in her heart. With rare plans to find, a dead sister who keeps bringing her coffee, and another sister whose anger fills the sky with lightning, Sage doesn't have time for romance. But being with 10 is like standing in the middle of a field on the cusp of a summer thunderstorm, supercharged and inevitable. Sounds interesting. Next is Me Without You by Kelly Rimmer. I heard about this from Chloe from Always Booked. I love Kelly Rimmer. I don't know how I never heard about this book before, but I think it was on one of her book hauls or something. So, a story of how love can break our hearts and heal them. A year ago, I met the love of my life. For two people who didn't believe in love at first sight, we came pretty close. Lila McDonald, beautiful, opinionated, stubborn, and all kinds of wonderful in ways that words could never quite capture. The woman who taught me to live again. My Lila, who gave me so much and yet kept from me a secret that she knew would break my heart. My name is Callum Roberts, and this is our story. Yeesh. Sounds a lot like The Fault in Our Stars. Like, these two people fall in love, but they can't be together because of some illness. Who knows? Anyway, next is The Search Party by Hannah Reichel. I heard about this one through Renee from Book Talk, etc. This is coming out on January 16th, so I have to wait, which sucks. Max and Annie Kingsley have left the London rat race with their 12-year-old son to set up a glamping site in the wilds of Cornwall. Eager for a dry run ahead of their opening, they invite 3 old university friends and their families for a long-needed reunion. But the festivities soon go awry as tensions rise between the children and subsequently their parents. Explosive secrets come to light, and a sudden storm moves in, cutting them off from help as one in the group disappears. Moving between the police investigation, hospital room, and the catastrophic weekend, The Search Party is a propulsive and twisty destination thriller about the tenuous bonds of friendship and the lengths parents will go to protect their children. Yikes. This sounds like a summer book, I think. Anyway. The next one is called Tell Me What I Am by Una Mannion. I heard about this one also from Renee from Book Talk, etc. I think this one's out now, actually. Nessa Garvey's sister, Dina, vanished without a trace in Philadelphia in 2004. And all that time, Nessa has never once doubted what her instincts told her. Her sister's ex-husband has gotten away with an unspeakable crime. Nessa's niece, Ruby, is raised by her father, the man Nessa suspects in rural, I can never say this word, rural Vermont, on the shores of Lake Champlain. Ruby learns how to hunt, how the plants and trees grow, how to avoid making her father angry. The one question she longs to ask is the one she knows she cannot voice. What really happened to her mother? Over 14 years, 400 miles apart, these 2 women slowly begin to unearth the family history of insidious power and control that has shaped them both in such different ways. But can they reach each other in time? Yeesh. I'm interested in this one, and it's out now. Next is She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. I heard about this one from Tina from Book Talk, etc. This one's coming out on April 2nd. Megan Michaels is trying to find balance between being a single mom to a teenage daughter and working as a full-time nurse. While on duty at the hospital one day, a patient named Caitlin arrives in a coma with a traumatic brain injury, having jumped from a bridge and plunging over 20 feet to the train tracks below. But when a witness comes forward with shocking details about the fall, it calls everything they know into question. Was Caitlin pushed, and if so, by whom and why? Megan has always tried to stay emotionally detached from her patients, but this time she mistakenly lets herself get too close until she's deeply entangled in Caitlin's and her family's lives. Only when it's too late does she realize that she and her daughter could be the next victims. Yikes. Next is For a Lifetime by Gabrielle Meyer. I actually heard about this because I follow Gabrielle Meyer on her Facebook page, and she told us to go to Goodreads and add this to our want to read because it is now up and the description is there, but I am not going to read it because it would spoil the past books, but it's the 3rd book in the Timeless series. So Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails, Amanda from Book Lover Amanda, join me in cheering. This is coming out on May 7th, which sucks because it is so long to wait. I need another good time travel story. Like, I need some time travel to get me through until May. And something that's not Outlander. Don't get me wrong, I love Outlander, but those books are really long. And once I get into those, I'll never read anything else. So, yeah. May 7th. I'm so excited. Anyway, there's that one. Then I have The Orphan House by Anna Bennett. I heard about this one from Krista from Books and Gems. Baby born September 5th, 1934, approximately. Place of birth unknown. Father unknown. Mother unknown. Present day. Sarah Jennings knows there's one place she can go to find some peace and quiet during her difficult divorce. But arriving at her beloved father's home in the countryside, she finds him unwell and hunched over boxes of files, studying the records from Cedar Hall, the crumbling orphanage in town. He says that hidden behind the wrought iron gates and overgrown ivy are secrets about their family, and he asks for her help. Sarah goes to speak to Connie Burroughs, the only person left alive who lived at Cedar Hall. Her questions take Connie from the comfort of her nursing home right back to a chilly night in 1934 when, as a little girl, she saw her own father carrying a newborn baby bundled in rags that he said he'd found near the broken front gate. The day Connie began to protect his secrets. But just as Sarah begins to convince Connie that the truth can set her free, she realizes that unlocking the past might have heartbreaking consequences. Yep, this is totally my kind of thing. Dual timeline historical fiction, add in some orphans. Am I sick and twisted that I love stories about orphans? Yes, I am. Anyway, next is The Banned Bookshop of Maggie Banks by Shauna Robinson. I got this one from Krista from Books and Jams as well. I, Maggie Banks, solemnly swear to uphold the rules of cobblestone books. If only I, Maggie Banks, believed in following the rules. When Maggie Banks arrives in Bell River to run her best friend's struggling bookstore, she expects to sell bestsellers to her small town clientele. But running a bookstore in a town with a famously bookish history isn't easy. Bell River's literary society insists on keeping the bookstore stuck in the past, and Maggie is banned from selling anything written this century. So when a series of mishaps suddenly tip the bookstore toward ruin, Maggie will have to get creative to keep the shop afloat. And in Maggie's world, book rules are meant to be broken. To help save the store, Maggie starts an underground book club, running a series of events celebrating the books readers actually love. But keeping the club quiet, selling forbidden books, and dodging the literary society is nearly impossible, especially when Maggie unearths a town secret that could upend everything. Maggie will have to decide what's more important, the books that formed a small town's history or the stories poised to change it all. Yeesh. Anyway, next is Before He Finds Her by Maggie Cardos. I heard about this one from Meredith from the Currently Reading podcast this week. Everyone in the quiet Jersey Shore town of Silver Bay knows the story. On a Sunday evening in September 1991, Ramsey Miller threw a blowout block party, then murdered his beautiful wife and 3-year-old daughter. But everyone is wrong. The daughter got away. Now she is nearly 18 and tired of living in secrecy. Under the name Melanie Dennison, she has spent the past 15 years in small-town West Virginia as part of the Witness Protection Program. She has never been allowed to travel, go on a school dance, or even have internet at home. Precautions must be taken at every turn because Ramsey Miller was never caught and might still be looking for his daughter. Yet, despite strict house rules, Melanie has entered into I'm stopping here. Basically, circumstances force her to look for her father before he finds her. She wants to bring him to justice so she can get out of living in solitary confinement in the Witness Protection Program. Well, not solitary confinement, but you know what I mean. Like, no social life whatsoever. She wants to get out of hiding, essentially, for a reason. I know the reason because I was dumb and read the Goodreads review, and it spoils something that I wish had not been spoiled, so I'm stopping. The description. Anyway, last 2 books. The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. Soon after her 25th birthday, Libby Jones returns home from work to find the letter she's been waiting for her entire life. She rips it open with one driving thought: I'm finally going to know who I am. She soon learns not only the identity of her birth parents, but also that she is the sole inheritor of their abandoned mansion on the banks of the Thames in London's fashionable Chelsea neighborhood worth millions. Everything in Libby's life is about to change. But what she can't possibly know is that others have been waiting for this day as well, and she is on a collision course to meet them. 25 years ago, police were called to 16 Cheyenne Walk with reports of a baby crying. When they arrived, they found a healthy 10-month-old happily cooing in her crib in the bedroom. Downstairs in the kitchen lay 3 dead bodies, all dressed in black, next to a hastily scrawled note. And the 4 other children reported to live at Cheyenne Walk were gone. So I don't know what that means. And I guess there's a sequel to this book. It's called The Family Remains, which I did not read the description for because I don't want to know. So, yeah. Those are the books that I've added to Goodreads so far this month. Not as many as I usually add, but that's not a bad thing because I have a lot of books. Anyway, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!
Speech on. Stop recording video.